Well, 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 well. I tell you something that's interesting. This whole January 6th full moon, because we know all about January 6th. Why did they make January 6th such a big deal? Is that because of the wolf full moon that he would rise on and be Antichrist? Watch this. If you multiply 6 times 2023, you get 121 for Antichrist fused with 138 for Donald Trump. That's interesting. But somebody shared, my friend Joe Kane shared with me about I Pet Goat. And I started running the numbers. And he was talking about 10 years and 190 days or something like that. And I'm like, if you just look at the days to the 4th, which would be the murdering day, which would be him going down on a Tuesday. No, him going down on a Wednesday, which is Addams family, Wednesday Addams, Addams family, Wednesday, the train wreck. So that whole show was about the train wreck. He always wanted to watch the trains crash. Well, it's 3838 with an 83 in the middle, which is what they showed us when they were coding the 38 and the 38 that popped up. So it's something to look for when we're trying to figure out this puzzle. Again, he can go down anytime, any year. I just know this. Donald Trump's not dying of a stroke or a heart attack or a car accident or a plane crash. When is the puzzle? That is a hobby. Nothing more, nothing less to put together. So if he's going down on the 4th from when I Pet Goat was released on the Heliofont YouTube channel, which is the day of July 3rd, which is usually when Sirius the Dog Star goes down. Sirius the Dog Star, July 3rd to August 12th. Oh, it's August 12th.
According to Farmer's Almanac, they refer to this time as dies canicularis.
Okay, and you redo it, and it's July 3rd to August 11th, which, by the way, is 88. 8 times 11 is 88. And July 3rd is 7 times 3 is 21. 2 coming together as 1 with the 88. Well, that sounds a lot like my marriage, doesn't it? Let's do the so July 3rd is when Back to the Future came out. 1985, Back to the Future, July 3rd. And it's also in Heliofont, even though they said they released it. I think it was, I don't know, June 24th. It is July 3rd that it was posted to their Heliofont YouTube channel. It's the day Sirius goes dark. It's called the Dog Days of Summer. So July 3rd, 2012, if you include both dates, from darkness to darkness, because he would go down on the 4th. There's your dark day. It's a Wednesday Addams. That's what I was going to show you. I knew I was thinking about something. Addams Family, train wreck, TV show. And that's what they were always about.
How about a go at the trains?
How about a go at the trains? And I grew up watching these shows, man. I was a kid back when this was kid stuff. I don't know. That's what the whole show is about. Always showing you the train wrecks. So the big train wreck, would be when he goes down. It is on a Wednesday. You include both dates. It's 3838. Now let's look at the rising day. 6 times. We already did that, didn't we? Yeah, I already showed you that. What is it when it's 4 times it? Which would be the offing day. Is that 89 and 90 again? But all right, so let's take a look now at up a 7. He's 27963. And then of course when he rises, he's 27965. And the 79 and the 65, I showed y'all that the other day. What a remarkable set of digits that is. That's something we talk about a lot. January 6th in gematria, it did offer some a few interesting items, if I remember. World War III. And We Are the Storm and The Way of Water. All of that comes up for January 6th. Financial crash now. Do you see how it all like boom right on January 6th? Transhumanism. Matrix storm. 264, 462, 624, 642, all of it. All of that. Cyrus the Great. And of course, Trump's on the coin with King Cyrus in Israel. Page 2 offered, what did page 2 give us? Page 2 gave us something. Jesus return. Of course, that's back when he would rise. Babylon crumbling. That's hilarious. All right, and then you can keep going. And if I've got time, I'll take a look at it. What else was there? Second wife, she's going to be the 17965. Because her and Trump, I mean, good grief. No, that's the offing day. Where she's got the, and see how weird that is? 2 days before she goes down, she's got the same 4 numbers of 7965. Second wife and Trump are 999, 8 days apart. 9,998 days. And 98th verse is, of course, it's an upside down 666 that people like to say. It's upside down and backwards, you could say. But the 98th verse, of course, is the white horse verse. So if you remember 2 times GOD, 14308, if you times that by Candy, try it again, 14308 times 55244, you get the 79 and the 311. And then include me in that, then you get the 65. So the 79-65 combo is a big deal. Always has been. It was a license tag of both my parents' phone numbers. 7965. Whenever she and Kenny and I got married and divorced. Because it didn't like, it was, it was a year and a half ordeal. And they had the same 7965 car tags. So when Trump would go down, she's 17965. And then when he would rise 2 days later, Trump would be 27965. This all takes place from January 4th. And you look at the 8092. And I've shown you my friend who had the, yeah, nothing came up, whatever that was. I got confused about something else. My 1117 classmates, two of them, they were both baseball players. When I was at one of them's funeral, I was sitting next to the 9/11 guy. I've shown you all that a million times. He would go down. That this person is deceased, but they would be 61, 1, 19 on the offing day and 61, 121 on the rising day, if you include both dates. The one I sat next to at his funeral, Ronnie, he's got the 311 in the minutes, 186.66 in the seconds. Look at Ronnie 9/11. Hang on a second. I had the wrong year, but it's still very interesting. 9/11/63 was his birthday. If you include both dates to the 4th, he's 21666. 7/11, 25 days. Still 311 in the minutes, 187 in the seconds. That's who was sitting next to me at the 1117's funeral. And then Ronnie passed away very early also. They both had cancer. One we know, did the steroids during the 80s when it was out of control and it was killing people's cellular structure. A lot of them died of cancer. The whole Lyle Zeta, just a lot of people did. And apparently the rumor was that Ronnie had dabbled in it too, but I don't know. I'm not giving you his last name, so it's all good. And I don't share this with anybody in my local sector. But 9/11, 1963, 21666. Now, when you run that to the rising day, you get 21668. 68 is the reversal of 86. It's 66 books in the Bible is in there, plus the 216, which is 6 times 6 times 6. So it's starting to take shape a little bit, especially with Candy's thing, with the 79 and the 65 with Trump. Now I want to tell you something else that's the Spectacular Wow. I don't know why that keeps popping in my head. Movie, The Spectacular Wow. Nobody has said it's called Spectacular now. Okay. I've been saying that in my head and I don't even know why. Oh, it's got 420 on it, which is the Abomination of Desolation. 420. Which Candy and I do have in our combined number of times this year. Him going down on the 4th is Loose Change in American Coup. It's Strange Angel premiere, which opened on his birthday and at the beginning showed them with an arrow during the total lunar eclipse killing a wolf. And it's the wolf full moon he would rise on 2 days later. Caddyshack Excalibur, head coach Billy Napier's birthday, who's representing the 7th king. He's the 7th coach in Spurrier. He's the 7th king of Devil's Advocate University. Christian Bale's birthday, Top Gun Maverick release date. It's a mad, 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 mad world. All of that on January 4th. Dead presidents, if you include both dates. The Reichstag fire, the Molotov-Ribbentrop Act. Two things our former contributor who worked diligently for this channel, he just got burnt out and I see, I know why. You get let down. He would put hours and hours and hours into putting stuff together. But he said those two events, the Reichstag fire and the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, were the two things that were the impetus of World War II. And that would be taking place on the day between the rising and the offing date, or it is the offing date if you include both dates. Him rising is I Am Batman helicopter ride. Trump Tower opening. But here's the crazy thing is One World Trade Tower. If I were to run that for you from Sirius, you say, be 147 days, 68 minutes. There's nothing spectacular. Oh, if you include both dates from the rising date, it's 148, which is Donald J. Trump and simple gematria. You have to include both dates. Sirius rises on the 12th, include it. Trump rises on the 6th, include it. It's 148 days, Donald J. Trump. So he's going to rise on FRIGG, which is the only day named after a female goddess, which is what Mother Earth, Mother Nature, Isis, all of it. So that's what's going to happen. This is what I want to impart with you guys on the One World Trade Tower is 104 stories high. It's 104 days from the rising on the full wolf moon to the total solar eclipse and or what I would call the Abomination of Desolation. They've got 104 days to kill 2 billion people. You want to look at that? That's 2 billion. You've got to kill 19 million people a day. How in the world do you do that with earthquakes, tsunamis, cranking up the technology? They use the word carnage so often on ESPN. Cranking up the technology. Bombs. Cranking up the technology and killing all of the people who are connected to the technology. And then starvation through a very, very, very dark winter. You get a repeat of 19-2307, 69, 2307, 69. So, okay. One World Trade Tower is 104 stories tall. The top floor is officially designated as floor 104. How many stories One World Trade Tower? And you see how 104 just pops up. Like if you just ask the AI, it's going to give you not only a January 4th date. What does 104 mean? What is 10-4? It means yes. And we know the band yes. The band yes, Wikipedia. And yes means 10-4. Fragile. If you go to their discography, their first album was Yes. Time and Word, the Yes album, Fragile, Close to the Edge. Keys to Ascension. Oh, that's super interesting. Keys to Ascension 2. Heaven and Earth, and finally The Quest in 2021. They put an album out in 2021, believe it or not. The Royal Affair Tour, it was called. That band from the 70s that had my favorite song, Roundabout. It was my favorite song all through the 70s and most of the 80s. Hang on, let me bring it up for you. It came out August 11th. Of course it did. The last day of the dog days of summer. It was 8 minutes, 29 seconds, which is the date of when my son's wife had a very bad, well, it's when it all began. Look at that, August 11th. You've got to be kidding me. That's when it was recorded, sorry. They don't give you a release date. But sure enough, they're going to tell you 88. And for some reason, that song was like my favorite song. Just like I couldn't stop watching. I never missed a Donald Trump show. Thanks to the DVR, there's not one Celebrity Apprentice or Apprentice I ever missed. I was his biggest fan until I was just shown who he was through a lot of AI sites and so forth. They sat right there and told you he's the Antichrist. So 104, 10-4. Yes. What does 10-4 mean in radio talk?
Message received. Okay, acknowledged. According to Tucsonis.gov, 10 to 4. Message received. Okay, acknowledged. 10 to 47. Lost, missing person.
Okay. It means okay. Which the okay sign is the yoni. The okay sign is the yoni. Vulva, hand sign, yoni, mudra. That's so weird. Hand sign or vulva hand gesture. That's it. Okay. They're flashing you that yoni. And that's all, you know, iPet Goat's all about that birthing, and that's what it's all about. And we're not going to get into all that right now. But there's many different ways. There's different yoni hand signals. That's why you see them flashing different hand signals. Thank You Thing, Addams Family, which is all about the handwriting on the wall. The hand in the book of Daniel that wrote on the wall, known as the writing on the wall. Thing, Addams Family. Let's see if there's one where he's flashing the okay, because I think I've got that one. I've got that one saved. A snapshot of that photo. There it is. He'd flash that okay right there, upper left. Opening and closing that. That's what every time he would open and close, You'd be flashing the OK signal. That's what it is. Hilarious. So it's 104. So he goes down on 104 or January 4th. He rises with 104 left to go to the total solar eclipse, which is January 6th, which is a total wolf moon. I'm sorry, which is January 6th, which is a full wolf moon. And it's 104 days to the total solar eclipse. And that's what January 6th has always been about. I'm going to go with that. In closing, so candy times 2023. $11.17.586. It didn't happen in 2022 because 2022 is really 2023 from the song Strawberry Letter 23, which had no Strawberry Letter 23 in the lyrics, like we showed you the other day. The name of the song is Strawberry Letter 23, and yet what is in the lyrics is Strawberry Letter 22. So that's the only, that text to Trump 88022 is only about my divorce. And I've told y'all that. I was her 88 on 802, which is in the middle of 88022, was when I sat her down and told her I wanted a divorce. And then we were divorced on 22, Groundhog Day. So it's official. It had nothing to do with the year he's going down. But we were to assume it. But he's really going down on the 23, not the 22. She still has 1117 in her first four digits, but at this time it's with the 586. $586 is the Israel captivity. Deadly wound, great tribulation, which is what the 586 is going to stand for, and then 12 for the church. Times me, and there's your 24 for the Abomination of Desolation at the total solar eclipse, followed by 66th book of the Bible, Revelation. Of course, the 54. All right. So what you're looking at is Trump exit. We're going to call it on the 4th, just for giggles. And then over here, you have Year of the Rabbit. And over here, you have the total solar eclipse of the Year of the Rabbit. Trump would be going down on the Chinese New Year of the Tiger, Eye of the Tiger. Eye of the Tiger, its album version is 404, which is the amount of verses in the book of Revelation. It was released on May 31st, 1982. Theme for Rocky by the band Survivor. Would you believe that to the 4th, it is 14828? 148 is Donald J. Trump. On the rising day, it's 14830, which fuses with the murder code of 83. But it's 40 years, 7 months, 6 days, 76 for Adam. He is the Black Adam. 487 on the months, 6 days. Again, 4876. That's gigantic. That's big. 9/11 2001, the twin trumps, right? Falling down. If you include both dates to the 4th, it's 7786. He's being 86th. And then he would rise on the 6th, and we would not know he has risen. There's your 88, 7788. And in the minutes, you've got 121 for Antichrist, followed by a 4, which gives you 121.4. And 214 is the first time deadly wound is, it's the 214th verse of Revelation is the first time deadly wound is mentioned. So this is becoming a big deal, a big deal, a bigger deal, a bigger and bigger deal. He's 27965. Let's multiply Trump by that day. 1.63464 times the 4th times 2023. 322 ends in an 88. Begins with a 13. 1322. There's a lot of other stuff there. Let's times him by the rising day. 163,464 times the 6th day. There's your 98th verse times 2023. There's your 98 again. The 98th verse. The white horse. Which is for the 12 or for the church. How many days left in the year? 365 minus 6. It's day 359. If you say 359 times 163,424, there's your 586 right there. Which is when Israel went into captivity, times it by the year 2023. You got your 187, but which is murder, followed by the 68, which is the reversing of the 86. You have 11.8, which, you know, is cryptic for 88, as we've had full moons this past year on 8/11 and 11/8. The 11/8 on November 8th was a total lunar. There's the 424. That's days to go. We'll times it by the 6th. So you're combining all of them. And you get your 88. Well, that just about wraps everything up, doesn't it? Well, I'd say it sure does. So the amount of days old that I'll be times my stepdaughter's amount of days old does have the 38, 83, 3. It's got 38, 83, and 33. Yeah, that's the offing date. You know, the rising day is exactly the opposite of my birthday, from July 6th to January 6th. It's the exact half year mark. That's not counting days because of the leap year, but it's in chronologically with the month and the days. With the leap year, I'm sorry, with February being a short month, it makes it a 184 to 181 combination. So on the offing day, what we've told you, Candy, is 17965. And I'm 22462. You multiply us together, you do get the 83, along with the 98, but the 83. Single digit followed by a 0, so hit it by a 7154. 886. 88 being 86, and another 38 over here. Well, it's 88 being 86, and then the 68. So really what it's telling you is to the rising day, to the 88 who got 86 being 68'd, the reversal, which is 2 days later. Wonder what we look like for that. That's 17967 times 22464. And you get your 6888, like clockwork. On the reversing of it, 288 over the 86. Oh, there's your 4308. And don't forget, 2 times GOD is 14308. Well, there it is right there, isn't it? 1430886. To the 88 and the 87, don't forget, is her 2 marriage numbers. 87 her first, 88 then to me. Both got 86. It's just getting weird. January 4th in Gematria, 1766. 1068, and of course that 178 number. System of a Down, Pretty Woman. We are 11. New moon in Aquarius. We need winter is coming. Ooh. 144. Well, that's what it's about, isn't it? Ghost in the Machine, the AI. Well, that's quite powerful. Pull the trigger. The New York Knicks, October 30, which is when Frank got his right eye popped in Donnie Darko. Why don't you look at that? 244. Trump arrested pops up. I wonder if he was to get arrested that day. Our old contributor would say that, like, he would get arrested and get hit. You know what I mean? Like it would be something to do along those realms. A Whole New World. Twin Flame Arrow. My Pillow guy. That's just too perfect, isn't it? The My Pillow guy. Okay, well, Trump was born on a Gemini moon. He would go down on a Gemini moon. Shoulders, arms, hands, and of course, remember, one of his arms is clean dried up. And then he would rise on your full moon in Cancer. Unbelievable. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. It's just uncanny, isn't it? On Thor Day would be like a dead day. He would die, fake death, on Dead Souls Day. Wednesday is named after what god? Woden. The god Woden is associated with carrying of dead souls. the god Woden. You know, it put what wasn't. Oh, it's Odin. Is Odin associated with death? Odin has many names, both war and death words. Let me make sure I got the right one again. What god is Wednesday named after?
Woden.
Yeah, it's
According to
Woden.
Viking Skipsmissy, Oinsdagger, Wednesday, Odin can be compared to the Roman god Mercury, so in the Nordic tradition Odin, also known as Woden, gave his name to Wednesday. Odin is the most prominent god in traditional Norse mythology.
So Woden. And then it transfers to Odin, also called Woden, Woden, Norse mythology. And again, this is what Wednesday Addams is named after. I can't seem to get the Dead Souls thing in here all of a sudden. They've shown it to us a million times. I'm just doing this if y'all are new. Hold on, we'll go to Wikipedia. Oh, I think we've got it. Husband of the goddess Frigg, he's going to rise on his wife's day. Okay, the source of most surviving information about him associates him with wisdom, healing, death, royalty. And he picks him as the husband of the goddess Frigg. He's going to go down on Wednesday and rise death. He's going to go down on Death Day, Wednesday Addams. And he's going to rise on his wife, goddess Frigg Day, which of course is Lucifer. Venus, Lucifer, Isis, the goddess. Well, I'm glad we figured this out. We've been wondering all this time when he was going to go down. And now we know. Loose change and American coup, which is what that LC stands for on that floor in IPEC GOAT, right where Obama's standing and the apple splits. It is a direct connection. It was released on 4/13/2005. The Lord called me exactly 5 years later, 4/13/2005. 4/13/2005 to the 4th, 6475. It is 21 months. Excuse me, 212 months, 22 days. So it's 21222. Along with 17822, 6475. It is a perfect 175 progressions. The opening of One World Trade Tower to the rising day is 2986 days. Now, the 98th verse is the White Horse verse. You also have a 98 in the months. It's 98 months, 3 days. Okay. Opening of 30 St. Mary Acts, 188.7, 18 years, 8 months, 7 days, 6825. The rising day would be 6827. 1638 on the hours. 638. We've been over that a billion times, haven't we? When Earl got killed, speaking of the 638, by his mom, it's 44 years, 7 months, 27 days. The length of biped goat is 7/27. Earl's birthday was 7/27. His death to Trump's fake death is 7/27. 44, 7/27. It's got in the hours 39, 148, 8, or 148 for Donald J. Trump and an 88 for Trump in the hours. Don't forget that movie called The Hours. The fallen angels always knew what we would be doing. They are time travelers. They could see the future. So always assume we've always been set up to fail until one day we just won't be. And that would be per the Holy Spirit giving it to us. And the Lord's ordained every bit of this anyway. What else? So the Dark Knight rises to the day the Dark Knight would rise. They had a July 16th New York City premiere. If you run July 16th, New York City premiere. Oh, I'm doing the dark. I'm sorry. Wrong one. Hang on. The Dark Knight rises to the offing day, gives you murder code of 3820, and he would rise on 3822. And 68 in the hours. If you go to the Dark Knight, which was on the 18th, to the day he would go down, 3822. No, I'm sorry. You got to change the year again. Hello, McFly. Wow, 5283. You got murder code 5283 for the day he would go down. Well, alrighty then. Okay. What I was going to show you earlier is still a direct hit. It's just not done the same way. It's done with a different movie. It's done with The Dark Knight, not The Dark Knight Rises. You go to The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight also had an early premiere of July 14th, New York City. This is so weird. That's my wedding day a year earlier. So that's my 1 year anniversary. We were in Miami. If you do that to the 86ing of the 88, the offing day, you got 5288. I was her 88. She was my 52. My first wife, 62848. Obama's birthday, about 1964. Times me, Bush's birthday. The first two characters that are repping Trump as the president's in the classroom of iPad Goat. My son's parents, that's both their birthdays, those two presidents preceding Trump. July 6th and August 4th. And Obama's 1961, my year. So Obama reps both my son's parents, my birthday and her birth year. Anyway, she's 62848 times me, 7 times 6 times 1961. Our combined number is 51. The next progression or the next marriage would be 52. You see the 5288, and then I was her 88. Her first husband was 10 times 18. Let's just multiply it all out. August times the 10th. Whoops, that's the 11th. His number is 157. You do the math. He's 15768. He's August 10th times 1971. 8 times 10 times 1971. Times her 55244. She is October 28th, 1973. 10 times 28 times 1973. Her first two digits of her original marriage is 87. The two-digit progression would be 88 or 872. right? Her third marriage out 3 digits would be 873, which is built into her marriage number. Go back and look at my wife and I, my first wife. You see the 6286? Well, her number was 62848. My next wife would be 6285, which was Candy, and my third wife would be 6286. A third wife is built into my original marriage number. And I often wonder when the calamity starts, are my stepdaughter's mom and I going to get together through this 4 horses? $52.88, from the dark night to when the dark right eye would be darkened, utterly darkened. And the dark night rises, see, is the reversal of that. $52.88. That just blows my mind to look at that. And what's weird is when I went to see my stepdaughter graduate, when I went to see her get her master's degree or graduate, 5288, not even 8852, it's exactly what we're talking about. 5288 was the ticket number. See the 5288? Parking, $10. Donald L. Tucker Civic Center. That's in Tallahassee. She graduated a master's, FSU. Donald L. Tucker graduation, FSU. FSU spring commencement, Donald L. Tucker Civic Center. Hello. Isn't that nutty? That's just nutty, buddy. Donald L. Tucker. I hit. Thank you. Donald L. Tucker, Wikipedia. Speaker of the Florida House of Reps. Donald L. Tucker Center. Civic Center. It's where they play their basketball games, have their concerts, have their graduations. And I had that 5288, which when I looked at that ticket, me knowing how the Lord's spoken to me through numbers my entire life, I was like, wasn't surprised at all, but my jaw dropped. Because I knew that was the Lord just sitting there, just giving me a thumbs up. I mean, just saying hello. It's always been numbers. It's always been numbers. It's always been numbers. It's always been numbers. I cannot wait to look at the Zoom number. I will not alter it. You can go in and physically alter it. I never do. I would never do that to y'all. See what it gives us. See what the length of this video is. We'll look at the length. There's the length on the thumbnail, but it's -1 second when you actually click the video. I'm going to be curious. That killed the cat, didn't it? All right, love y'all.